Hey y'all, so today I am going to be doing a mystery video. I did one of these videos in the summer and loads of people really liked it. It got a lot of views and a lot of people found the video really interesting and everything, and to be honest I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to do these videos all summer and my career is going to take off and I'm going to get millions of subscribers, but I literally made one video. So today I am making a second one. I mean, I don't really have an excuse for the fact that I haven't done any more. It's just that it's really hard to find information about these things because the Irish press doesn't really publish information about all these cases and stuff like that, so it's really difficult to find information. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the case of Annie McCarrick. So Annie McCarrick was an American student who was studying in Ireland and she went missing in March of 1993. So Annie was American. She lived in New York with her parents, but they had loads of ancestry in Ireland. Her great-grandparents were actually Irish. Before her disappearance, Annie had studied and lived in Ireland for 3 years, and she was studying at St. Pat's, and then she also studied at Maynooth. She really cherished her ties to Ireland, and it was literally her lifelong dream to make Ireland her home and be able to move here. So she was 19 when she first came to Ireland. She was studying, but she would still go back to New York every summer and every Christmas. Her parents also said that they visited her 2 to 3 times a year. After completing her studies in Ireland, she returned back to America for a couple of years. And then she decided that she wanted to go back to Ireland and she wanted to live there. She wanted Ireland to be her home and she wanted to start a family in Ireland. Her father said that he was really strongly against Annie going back to Ireland because he would miss her too much. He also mentioned not even being able to go to JFK airport to see her off because he was too upset. He just had to say goodbye to her at the house because he didn't want to have to face saying goodbye at the airport. And that just tells you how much he cared about her, and that just makes the whole thing even more sad. So Annie moved to Sandymount on the south side of Dublin and she lived in an apartment with 2 flatmates. So Annie vanished on the 26th of March 1993 without a trace. Let's just get into what happened that day. So it was a Friday. Her roommate Jill left the apartment at about 10 to 9 to go to work. Annie had the day off from work, so she decided to go to the local supermarket to pick up some groceries, which is only a few minute walk from her house. Then she was seen on CCTV at her local bank. She wanted to switch her branch from Clondalkin to Sandymount because she lived there. And this CCTV footage right here is the last recorded footage of her before she went missing. She then left the bank and went to a public payphone to make a call to a friend. She called her friend Anne and asked her if she wanted to go for a hike in the Dublin mountains. Her friend Anne said that she wasn't going to go for a walk, she was too tired, and Annie just said, okay, that's fine. Annie was then seen on the 44 bus to Enniskerry. And this is confirmed because she was seen by a close friend who definitely knew that it was Annie. So that's all we know for fact that happened that day. So a few reasons why it's suspicious for her to just disappear like that is because she had plans the next day for her friends to visit her for a dinner party because it was her birth week. It was the week of her birthday. And also her mother was supposed to come visit her the following Friday, so it didn't make sense for her to just up and leave. When you're looking at cases like this, a lot of times if someone's disappearing and they have plans, it shows that they don't want to go, they don't want to disappear, so it makes you think that something happened to them. Something very suspicious is that when the police checked Annie's house, the groceries that she had bought were left on the kitchen counter. And this is really suspicious because she had things like milk, yogurt, things that should have went in the fridge, and she had just left it on the counter. And this, connected to her getting on the bus, made detectives think that Annie was rushing to catch the bus, which makes them think that she was rushing to meet somebody, because if she had have missed the bus, she could have just gotten the one the next hour, but she must have been on some sort of time limit to meet somebody. You know, putting your groceries away takes 5-6 minutes, so why could she not do that? Why did she have to run and get the bus? Could she possibly be meeting someone? The next day, Annie's friends showed up to her house for their dinner party like they had planned, and they knocked on the door. They literally were banging down the door and Annie was not answering, so they knew that something was wrong immediately. They contacted Annie's family, and Annie's mother changed her flight from the following Friday to that day, and she was there by Monday morning. And Annie's mother literally stepped off the plane and went to the police station to report her missing. She knew that this was just so out of character for Annie to just disappear like this. Annie had a stable life and a job and a good circle of friends, so there was no reason for her to want to harm herself or make herself disappear, so immediately it was suspected that foul play was involved. So as I said, she disappeared on Friday, but she wasn't reported missing until Monday. And if you know anything about missing persons cases, you know that the first 24 hours are the most crucial in finding that person. So it wasn't until almost over 48 hours later that she was reported missing. This case got so much publicity, not only because she was so young, but also because she was American. So it was reported by not only the Irish press, but the American press as well. This may have harmed the case more than it helped it. Hundreds of alleged sightings of Annie were reported. This became a problem because a lot of people were just reporting any American woman with brown hair that they saw. If they heard a woman speaking an American accent, they would phone the police and be like, it's Annie, she's here. And the police had to follow up every single one of these reports, so it took their attention away from Dublin. They were searching in Donegal and Wexford and all around Ireland where these sightings were reported. The Gardaí were confident that she had vanished around the Dublin Mountains, Wicklow area because she had gotten the bus to Enniskerry, obviously. But the case literally goes cold there. There was never a piece of her clothing found or any trace of her at all. Like, she literally vanished into thin air. As you can tell, this is just a strange case. Like, she vanished without a trace, but there was literally no reason for her to go missing. She had a job, she was in college. So now let's just get into some of the theories about what could have happened to her. So the doorman at a pub called Johnny Fox's near the Dublin Mountains reported seeing Annie that night. This is unconfirmed because there is no CCTV footage of Annie in the pub that day. He also didn't hear Annie speak. He just went off the description that the police were giving around and he matched it to the woman he had seen that night. The doorman said that Annie came into the pub with a young man. He said that the young man paid for the both of them to get into the pub because it was a cover charge to get in that night. When speaking to the police, he gave a description of the man that he had seen with Annie that night. He described him as about 5'9", 5'10", with an athletic build and square shoulders. He had brown hair and he was in his late 20s. So this guy allegedly paid for the both of them to enter the pub, but they weren't seen again after that and they weren't seen leaving together. Obviously it was like a busy night in the pub. So this is happening right near the Dublin Mountains, and if you know anything about the Dublin Mountains, like, bodies have been found there like numerous times. That's where like Larry Murphy was caught like strangling a girl to death and everything. Like, it honestly is the perfect place to hide a body because it has like wild terrain and it's like covered in bushes and marshes and everything like that. So even if the police knew that there was a body there, they would literally have to dig up every single part of the Dublin Mountains to try and find it. So let's just suppose that Annie did enter the pub with the man that night. Maybe he was the person that she was meeting, which is why she left her groceries on the kitchen counter. Maybe after she found her friend Anne, she found someone else to see if they wanted to hike up the Dublin Mountains with her since Anne wasn't going to. And another possibility is that this is just a guy that she met while she was hiking and they decided to go for a drink together. So all this begs the question, what was this guy's motive? So investigators do suspect that it was like a sexual assault. It was possible that they left the pub and maybe went back to this guy's car, or they went back to his house and maybe he made some advances to her and she refused and he just lost it with her and accidentally murdered her. It's also possible that he raped her and then murdered her after because he didn't want her to go to the police. Investigators also suspect that if this is true, that the person who did it would have been an experienced murderer. To not only be able to cover up the crime like that, but also hide any trace of Annie ever being in that area or her clothes or anything like that ever being found, it would take someone who has experience doing this. Another theory is that Annie did meet someone while she was walking that night. So it was reported to the police that a member of the IRA was speaking to Annie that night. If you don't know what the IRA is, it's like the Irish Republican Army. It's like a paramilitary group in Ireland that wants to fight for like a Republic Ireland. And since Annie did have such a love affair with Ireland, is it that far-fetched to assume that maybe she was talking to someone from the IRA and they were discussing their love of Ireland together? So allegedly this member of the IRA told Annie a bit more than he should have, and he revealed some of the IRA's plans and some things that they have done. Because Annie was impressed by this, she liked his passion for Ireland. So this man enjoyed impressing this young, pretty American girl. So he just kept talking and talking and talking, and by the end of the night he realised he had said too much. He didn't know if Annie would have went to the police with any of this, so he just had to get rid of her to keep her quiet. And it's very possible that this person would have had the skills to dispose of Annie's body if not had help from the whole IRA. So allegedly this unnamed member of the IRA was questioned by police, but they did not have enough evidence to charge him with anything. This same unnamed person then moved to Belfast, where they were convicted of a number of sexual assaults, so that only makes this theory a lot more likely. So this person was never really officially linked with Annie, it's just a theory, but it seems really likely to me, to be honest. And the case goes cold with that. That is literally all the information out there. So Annie's case appeared on Crime Call in April 2016, and her mother basically put out a plea, and it was honestly heartbreaking. Her mother basically said that she never thinks that she'll see Annie again, but she just wants to know where her remains are so she can give her a proper burial. She just wants to have a grave for Annie that she can visit. Through the years there have been more reports of sightings and stuff like that, but Annie literally disappeared without a trace. So this was the first of a number of disappearances in the Dublin Wicklow Mountain area, and if you watched my last video about Fiona Sinnott, she is one of the 6 women who disappeared in this time frame in that area, but Annie was the first in 1993 to go missing. As crazy as this case is, I find it even more bizarre that Annie literally vanished without a trace. And there have been very, very few leads. The only lead that the police properly looked into was this guy who was allegedly seen by the doorman at the pub, but we literally have no idea who he is or what he may have done with Annie's body. Searches have been conducted of the Wicklow Mountains, but as I said, it's mountains, like it's so hard to try and like sift through every single bit that there possibly could be a body. Yeah, anyway, comment below and let me know know your thoughts. Like, what do you think happened to her? Maybe someone watching this has another theory about what could have happened. Maybe something I missed, I didn't read online. So definitely comment below what you think happened. If you are enjoying this series, let me know, because I definitely want to do some more in 2019 if you guys enjoy them. I honestly just find it so interesting to research these cases, so I just want to share with the people watching. So you can give this video a thumbs up so I know if you enjoyed it, if you want me to do more. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.